Good evening and welcome once more to my channel, JC Academy, where we talk about science, education, and research, and how to develop yourself into the best scientific or medical scientific professional that you can ever be. And so today I'll be taking you into a journey, or into my journey as a researcher or as an early career researcher. So everything started back in 2004 when I started my medical training in Cameroon. I was privileged to pass the competitive entrance exam immediately after high school into the Faculty of Medicine and Biomedical Sciences of the University of Yaounde 1 in Cameroon. And I started as a first-year medical student on the 12th of October 2004. It is a very, I think it remains a very memorable day for me because I think the very first lecture, if I'm not mistaken, was about a bone, the ethmoid bone, which if you are a medical doctor, maybe you're a medical student, you would know about. But the lectures were given in French, and at one point I was so confused, and I remember I still have the 4 pages of notes I copied on that very first day of class in medical school. Well, that's a story for another day. So I spent 7 years in the medical school in Yaounde, and left in 2011, I think on the 2nd of August, when we had our graduation. And I started working in our case in Cameroon. You know, when you leave medical school, you're trained to work as a general practitioner. And so I was sent to work in one of the regional hospitals, the regional hospital of the Western region, so in Bafoussam at the time. And so for me, that's when everything started. So, but I think before I graduated, I actually did my MD thesis research with some of the best professors and researchers we have in Cameroon. And so that really instilled the love for research in my heart. And so when I went to work as a medical doctor and in my clinical practice, I was always looking for avenues to actually do research. And so that really started when I worked in the Western region, did a couple of individual studies, and also later on went back to the University of Yaounde 1 at the Faculty of Science, where I did a professional master's course, and then with the Faculty of Medicine again, where I did a master's of research. And between 2016 and 2018, when I started my PhD, I was actually doing a public health residency at the time, because I had completely fallen in love with the research, and I had decided at that point that I was not going to go into a clinical specialty, and I would just dedicate my career in learning more about research and to become a full-time researcher. And so in 2018, I was graced enough to be selected for a PhD program, which was done within the framework of different institutions in Cameroon, University of Yaounde 1, with Professor Eugene Sogui, who was my PhD supervisor in Cameroon, the MRC, that's the Medical Research Council in Uganda, which is now an institute or one of the units of the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, and with the University of Exeter in the UK, where I was registered as a PhD student. And so my PhD was focused around examining the phenotype and the etiology of type 1 diabetes in sub-Saharan Africa, and also studying how people with type 1 diabetes do survive with their condition or with their disease, given that we know all the difficulties that we have with regards to access to insulin. And so I'm going to unpack the different studies which I carried out on my PhD in subsequent videos, but I just really wanted to give us a framework of the journey right up to this time. And so I've actually completed my PhD, and in 20 days time I will be graduating officially as a PhD holder, so which is something I'm really proud of. And I just really want to thank the different institutions that worked and collaborated for this PhD project program to be completed, but also my family and friends, my supervisors who have supported me all along throughout these years. And thank you, family, for watching JC Katte Academy videos, and I hope you're going to learn more about the research.